Good afternoon. This is Caesar, a martial artist, photographer, and a dad. Was on our second part of my 3 series episode about my post-COVID effect. Before that, I just want to say hi to each and everyone, to our subscribers, to our friends, family, to my loved ones. Excuse me. You see, I still have the coughing and the shortness of breath, which is excuse me. This is called the long-term effect of COVID-19. It's a lifetime thing. We're going to talk about today is the second issue for all those who have had after effect of COVID-19 after surviving ICU, going for rehab, or like me, from ICU I went to Makalak ward, which they are very so much helpful to me. So ICU staff and nurses, I'm very thankful. The doctors, the housekeeping department, kitchen department, I all thank all of them. Without them, I might not be alive today. The next one is the stage that when I was in Makalak and I was stayed there for 2 weeks. When I started to be rehab for 2 weeks there in Makalak ward, I'm also thankful for the medical staff, the team, the nurses, the CSWs, their patience in comforting me. Obviously, without my family, the chance that they gave me to believe that I could survive and move on to life again. Another part is the rehab with the physiotherapist. Obviously, from ICU to the ward, they tried their best to me to walk, even in a small steps. Before I forgot, when I came out from my being awake from ICU, the first thing I did was to drink water. Imagine those simple things like drinking water, walking or moving your hands is very important pala. There are things that you will only appreciate once you lose it pala. Took me some time to walk, it took me some time just to sit down. Until now, if I sit down long, it hurts my back. I can only sleep from side to side. If I can use 2 pillows, before 4. Now, pag 2 pillows, I could breathe but still struggle sometimes. And most of the time, I could sleep on my right is better than to my left. I'll explain why on my third and last part of the series. The psychological effect is something different. There are times that you think that you're not gonna be useful in your family. Once you come out, you start living normally as you can. The psychological effect of it, the fear of dying, the fear of having COVID again, reinfection. Kasi in my first test, before leaving the hospital, I saw my x-ray, how my lungs was damaged, totally damaged by COVID-19. And after that, I also saw the next part of it is yung scars, the nice scars from my lungs from right to left. They showed me it's a lifetime scar now, so I'm gonna live with it every day of my life. I have a very strong family bond, so I'm very thankful. I have my family with me, my kids, to believe my mom and dad, my parents, my friends is keeping me living until now. At one point, I was become suicidal. Somebody whispering to me whether it's the effect of the medicine or as they call the PTSD, PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome of being coma. I had fear of water, malulunod, just like I'm going to drown. I had fear of big spaces because I've been in the one room for most of the 2 months of my life. If I see a lot of people, more than 3, more than 5, I panic. I don't want to stay on that place. My self-confidence went down. I wanted to go back training to karate, but I got limitations due to my lungs. It's been 10 months now, or 9 months. I still have shortness of breath. I still cough. My cardiologist said they're gonna provide me inhalers. Before, they said my lungs was like a COPD patient who smokes like a chain smoker. Only 30% of my lungs was working. When I came out from the hospital, my SATs was 90 to 93, 89 pa nga sometimes. Then it improves to 93, 95. One time 96, 97. My oxygen level in my lungs went from 30% to 70%. I will have my appointment again, do the CT and X-ray again of my lungs and my heart in the coming months. And hopefully, with God's guidance, it will be much better. Until now, I'm not working due to the reasons that I don't feel safe. Physically, I'm not ready because of the situation. My lungs and my immune system is not. Psychologically, I think I am okay, but sometimes I still have this worst fear of having reinfection. Reinfection means baka ma-infect uli ako. For those who don't normally commonly hears it, kasi whether I have a vaccine or whether I had COVID, pwede ulit akong ma-infect. The chances, kailan healthy muna immune system ko. The psychological part, those fears. My worst ones is when I'm taking a shower. Every time the water splashes, this is a daily happening. So I start to close my eyes. I could see all the feedback happening from the past. I was lying down in the bed in ICU. People whispering about me dying. And the fear of anytime I will die. When I had my psychologist, in some ways it helped yung 6 sessions namin. But there are still dreams. Sometimes I still wake up in the morning. Sometimes I still dream of hearing whispering of people talking about me dying soon. They're still there. I just have to live with it, move on. Maybe without my family's support, especially my wife, baka I might have not gone to it na siguro. This is one thing I want to share to everyone, that the PTSD is there. It will not disappear agad. I take antidepressants. Antidepressant, isa lang naman. It might take a year daw for me to take it. I also have this scar in this one due to the turning. Maybe 3 times I had for 12 hours or 4 hours, 6 hours. I became forgetful. But I could drive now. I could walk for 5-10 minutes, but I will have shortness of breath. Um, yung psychological part, mahirap kasi every time I'm alone, things do come back. Now what if I die tomorrow? I don't wake up the next day. I pray a lot now. After this, every night we do rosaries. It looks not really good because I started doing it after having this. Maybe it was a wake-up call. I felt I was invincible before. I achieved some of the good things in life. I have a great family, a nice job, a good experience back in training in martial arts. Then this thing happened. At the moment, I'm still building my confidence through this channel. It is helping my pets, my dogs, Naples and Pichi, my kids, my wife, my family. It will come a time that I'll be alone by myself because of work or just being in the house by myself because the children might go to school, my wife might go to work. I need to be ready. So it won't be easy because I try to fight it out. One time I was in the shower, I would remember things in my dreams when I was in coma. Connected siya. Then I asked my wife, if did I tell you that story about this, about that? And she would say, no, I never heard about it. And I was thankful that I could share it to her. She's happy to listen. I'm also thankful that she's there. There are things that bugs me every now and then. The most is the fear of dying, the fear of not waking up, the fear of what if I was just there and something happens to me, what will happen to them. For the reason I wanted to go home was I know I could have my rehab here much better than the hospital because I know my family will be there. From the moment I woke up, gusto ko na umuwi. I just want to have my rehab in my house. I was thankful and I was right. Now I'm back to my build of my body, but internally damaged pa yung lungs ko. What my cardiologist said, my heart is much better compared before because it's also been affected by COVID. The psychologist said I'm alright, but if I need to call her or email her again for advice, I will. Maybe in a few weeks time I will. Few months, I don't know. You know, being a Filipino kasi, we're fighters eh. If we can, we'll try it our best not to bother anybody. So at the moment, I could control it. Just when every time I went to the shower, it takes me an hour at least. Kasi I don't want to leave the shower and finish taking a bath if I'm not psychologically ready. I might bring it while I sleep, or I'll be stressed going out from the toilet, something like that. So I'd rather stay there until the moment that my mind is relaxed again. I got so many fears before, after coming out from the hospital. Fear of big crowd places, because I was thinking, baka ma-COVID again. I cannot go to the groceries. I can drive my family there, but I'll stay in the parking. Those kind of things. Tapos, there are still fears. The most is dying. Kasi I've given the chance to live again. And the worst part is, you don't know when you're gonna die. So, every minute is important to me, with my kids, my wife. At one point, I don't want to open my Facebook now more, nor check the internet. I rather stay beside them. I value every moment with them. All after this, all of this COVID-19 happened, I value everything I can do today. Even just for drinking water or water, as my kids would say. Even just walking for a few steps. On my third stage, I will show you what I can do as an exercise in my basement. What can I do at the moment compared to what I can do before. I really wanted to go back to karate for the one good reason, kasi alam ko karate will help me get better more psychologically. I don't know, maybe time will tell. I still have these worries and fears. Doesn't disappear, sabi nga ng doctors. Psychologists, it won't happen anytime soon. Until there's news about COVID, the news about variants, the news about people dying. When I wake up, I was surprised. I never thought that I'll be in a local newspaper here. I always do wish to be in the newspaper, but as a photographer, I did a few years ago as a photographer for a British Basketball League, but I never thought myself being the newspaper, on local newspaper, online newspaper, saying NHS workers struggling for his life. When my daughter showed me those things, na-shock ako eh. I never thought my family went through that difficulty in life. Kasi I was sleeping for 1 month and a half, so I wouldn't know what happened to them. Though those fears, that what happened if things didn't go as expected. There's also those interviews from the TV, online, abroad, back home in the Philippines, religious groups. Sharing my story, I think, is part of what I can do for now. It helps in my psychological well-being. It might have helped people who are struggling like me. The PTSD or the post-traumatic syndrome is normal. We just need to be open about it. Kung we don't have any family, wala tayong family beside us, let's talk to our friends. Don't carry by yourself, endure it by yourself. It's not a healthy thing. It's not even healthy psychologically. I'm happy in a way that I'm with my family. I'm happy I got friends who I know cares for my family and me. On my third series, I will talk about the people who made their best to help me, help my family, who went to the point to have a GoFund-raising for me. People I never expected that they will do it to me. Again, if you feel something bad, if you worry about fear, if you are about fear of dying, talk to somebody you know, somebody close to you. PTSD is there, but the best therapy Please express it, tell it, share it. If you want to message me, if you need some help, I'm happy to help. Again, this is Cesar, a martial artist, photographer, and a dad.